Hi, earlier this week I watched Chris McKay's Renfield, an adaptation of the character from Dracula, transplanted into the present day. It stars Nicholas Hoult as Dracula's minion, um, and the film functions vaguely as a sequel to the 1931 film version with Bela Lugosi. There's a prologue where we see um, Dracula and Renfield, but the persona is now played by Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult, pasted over the footage from the original movie as we see the origin of their relationship. Um, but the body of the film is set in present day New Orleans. Dracula is gradually returning to full power again, but Renfield is starting to pull away from his influence. He started attending a support group for those with toxic relationships and is even developing feelings for a local police officer. So when Dracula starts getting involved with the local crime family, um, he sees the opportunity to expand his power across the world, and Renfield has to make a choice over which power he will serve, his master or himself. I was surprised by how incredibly violent it is. It's a vampire movie, so one should expect a certain degree of it, but it is an incredibly gory, incredibly graphic film, and it really figures out how to mine that for all the comedy it can. There are people's arms exploding off their bodies, heads fountaining into the air on geysers of blood. It was a surprise and a delight how horrific the film was. But that said, that helped me to enjoy it enormously. I thought it was a thoughtful and perceptive film about toxic relationships, as well as being an interesting variation on Dracula lore. Holt was genuinely likable and charming and conflicted as this central character. And Nicolas Cage, of course, has been waiting his entire life to play Dracula and is absolutely superb. He plays it over the top, but not so much as to make him a caricature. He's a very larger than life, bizarre character in this situation. I many years ago saw a film called Guess What Happened to Count Dracula, which also had Dracula in a contemporary setting, running a restaurant in Los Angeles, and it was absolutely awful. One of the worst films I've ever seen. So it was nice to see that concept done well with that edge of humor that comes with it, that doesn't dilute the villainy of Dracula himself, who is utterly monstrous. Um, the romance aspect with between Holt's character and the officer played by Awkwafina was, I think, downplayed quite a lot. It suggested that it's maybe not a romance at all, that it's just a strong human connection and sort of a deep friendship between these two characters, rather than anything romantic, which would make a refreshing change. Um, it's a film that I think doesn't bear a great deal of close inspection. It does have these ideas, but it's really just layering them on top of an adventure story, an action story. It's very entertaining, very funny. It's a brisk 91 minutes, um, and I enjoyed it a great deal. Highly recommended.